This is the FM Gold channel of All India Radio. In the program News Analysis, now we bring you a discussion on political fervour and assembly elections. The participants are Professor Himanshu Roy, political thinker, and Neelab Srivastav.
Assembly elections in the 5 states, Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Telangana are ongoing. These states went to the polls together. However, 2 phases of elections in Chhattisgarh, one each phase of polls in Madhya Pradesh and Mizoram is now over. Mizoram and Madhya Pradesh voted only yesterday. We are now left with Rajasthan, which has 200 assembly seats, Telangana, which has 119 assembly seats to go to polls on December 7th. All these states will be seeing their results coming out on December 11th. Mr. Roy, we'll talk first on the percentage of voting. It has been record-breaking of sorts. It has bettered from the last times in 2013. So what we saw in Chhattisgarh was about 76.35 in both the phases. Mizoram did excellently well, was about 80% and above. And even Madhya Pradesh bettered its record from 2013 to 75%, which was about 72 point some percentage in 2013. How do you see these polls progressing now?
If you look at the percentage of voting and the participation of the citizens in the democracy, 2 contradictory trends have been existing in the past. One, that more number of voters leads to the anti-incumbency factor, that is the change of the existing governments. But simultaneously, we also see the other trends where we find more voters' participation in the electoral process have endorsed the government policies. Both these trends are available. In Madhya Pradesh, if you look at the last election of 2013, the BJP government with more percent of votes and secured more number of seats comparison to the before 2008 elections. And keeping in mind the policies and the performance of the government in Madhya Pradesh in the past 5 years, I feel that the BJP government may be formed in the 2018 on 11th December. The results that comes, they may form the government. That is one. In Telangana, too, I feel that the feedback that I am getting from the academic community and the civil society that I have been visiting Telangana, particularly Khammam and Hyderabad, in the academic circles and in the civil society circles, etc., among the media persons, those who are objectively reporting that the ruling party which was in government, they will be sweeping the elections because the government has been performing exceedingly well as per the requirements of the local citizens there. And in Mizoram, I am getting 2 kinds of trends. One was when I was there in the first week of October, the report that I had from the civil society there and the academic community there, as students and teachers. So they told me that there will be change of government. The Congress government may be changed by the MNF government with maybe some alliances, collaboration with the other regional parties or even with the winning of 1 or 2 seats of the BJP, which is a national party. Right now, after the civil society movement for the change of the electoral chief election officer there in Mizoram, the Congress is on the slightly stronger position. Chances of their coming back has increased.
Even polls in Chhattisgarh is largely comes into news when because of the Naxal issue that they are facing, the left-wing extremism trouble that they have. By and large, the first phase, all the seats in the Bastar region, the area affected by Naxalism going to polls. There were few incidents definitely where the Naxals wanted to register their presence, but except that, polling has been very brisk in the first phase where the LWE regions went to polls and even the second phase where the north part of Chhattisgarh went to polls. It is largely a 2-party system there. So how do you see the elections in 2 states of Chhattisgarh, which is now polled, and Rajasthan, which is another important state which will go to polls on December 7th?
2 reports that I find and one contradictory. Let me explain about Chhattisgarh. In the past 18 years that Chhattisgarh government has been formed, it was created during Vajpayee's government
out of Madhya Pradesh
around 2000. So except for the brief moment of the Congress regime for 2 to 3 years, since then, the change of government that has been BJP party ruling and forming the government for the 3 consecutive terms, chief minister credibility in south area of Chhattisgarh, that is the Bastar region, as a Chawal Wale Baba, that I witnessed too, because I did some academic research work, project works there on the Naxal issues. So the chief minister is popular there, and the larger participation in Bastar region, I feel the BJP should form the government, because it's hardly 90 seats. 2 to 3 seats variations may change the government. That may be possibility. A change of 2 to 3 seats in any small state, even in Mizoram where there is only 40 seats, even in Goa in the past, just for the sake of example, which has a 40 seats. So change of 2 to 3 seats leads to the change of the government. That's the part. But keeping in mind the track record of the performance of the BJP government in Chhattisgarh and the participation of the electorate there, I feel the BJP party should form the government after the assembly election. As far as Rajasthan is concerned, earlier I was getting a very bad report, at least in some of the constituency, of anger against the chief minister in particular. The people have not much of anger against the BJP as such, particularly when it comes to the Prime Minister. Mr. Modi still commands very much of importance there in Rajasthan, despite anger against the Chief Minister. But of late, because of the party has gained a lot of time for campaigning, so chances are that the loss which the party was facing or likely to face, the kind of reports that I am getting in, that may be overcome. Now the party is steadily in the rural area, moving steadily to checkmate this resistance of the electorate who had anger against the chief minister in particular. Let me tell you one thing, that in some of the regions of India, even if the government is doing good works, the people have the tendency to change the government because they are fed up with the ruling party or with a particular face or with a particular chief minister, and they feel that the chief minister has become arrogant. But of late, feedback that I am getting from the civil society and the students teaching academic fraternity, that the BJP is doing steadily some groundwork to counter this feeling of anger against the arrogance of the chief minister. And I hope maybe that by the time the voting date nears, possibly the BJP successfully overcomes this anger of the electorate against a particular personality or a face.
There have been a lot of issues. The campaigning has been high-powered, both the sides undertaking rallies by their top leaders, their star campaigners as they are called, from the Congress president to the Prime Minister to state chief ministers, even different other state chief ministers and other important political leaders coming to these states and campaigning. Issues of the national level of corruption, we're talking about what has happened in the central level, and also the issues of unemployment. Farmer distress is a big issue in all these states. How do you see this campaigning of the issues that the candidates are taking forth and keeping in front of the voters?
Let me begin with the farmers issue. You tell me one government in the history of independent India which has not faced the farmers' anger, and despite 70 years of independence, since 47 onwards or 71 years, Congress has been ruling successfully till 67, most of the states of India, at the federal level, that is at the central level. And still it is a pan-Indian party. Similarly, the other parties have been facing the brunt of the anger. Sometimes when it gels or crystallizes with the angers of the other sections of the society, there is a change of the government. But what happens, farmers are very realistic people. They assess that which party is doing better for them. And most of the schemes that you feel that, or the policies, is of the central government. Under the leadership of Mr. Modi, you will find that there is a lot of transparency. Farmers' accounts are directly opened in the bank. The middleman has been done away with. In that case, if there is a benefit at all, that benefit straightway goes into the accounts of the farmer. Not only the monetary benefits, but other kinds of problems like securing your urea or fertilizers for that. Now there is nothing like a middleman. So such kind of distress, let me tell you, consider during Prime Minister Manmohan Singh tenure, for the 10 years, it was considered that under the regime of National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, yes, you'll find that it was said in Delhi, in the public, among the media, that farmers are very happy because now they have a rural employment guarantee scheme. And what happened in 2011 or 12 or 14, for example? The government lost. This National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme is still continuing. It's continuing transparently to a very large extent. At least the trial and attempts are there to make it transparent. Yes, the problem definitely is this, that the peasants, farmers who should have got a real, in proportion to their produce, the amount of money that should have gone into their pockets or into their accounts in comparison to the other sections of the society. For example, the salary of a government servant, say 30 years ago, and the salary of the government servant that comes to now, or even those who are working in the private sectors, there is a phenomenal change. But similar kind of change to the farmers in terms of payment to their produce, whether the rice, whether the sugar cane or anything, that proportion doesn't exist.
The other issues of corruption, which the unemployment, that has been a topic which the opposition has been riling the parties in power in every state for a long time. How do you see these issues panning out in these states?
One, at least, which is quite visible, the unemployment issue has been existing, again, as I told you, including the farmers issue, for the last 71 years. Every government has faced this issue of unemployment or underemployment. So, unemployment simply cannot be done away with. Unemployment will remain in this country for the next 10, 15, 20 years. It's a question of how many percentage of the youths will remain unemployment. That is crucial, because keeping in mind the demographic growth of this country at this phase of time, there are roughly 67% of the population in the age group of, as far as I understand, in the age group of 18 to 35, 67% of the population needs job. No government can provide 67% of the population which is seeking jobs, employment. So there will be certain percentage of population who will remain unemployed, and this is a universal phenomena. All across Europe, all across America, you will find this problem of unemployment continues. It's only a question of that maximum youth needs to be employment, and therefore I think most of the governments, state governments or federal government or central government, they are going for the skilled population or going for the training skills to the youth, so that a mere degree from the schools and the colleges or the university doesn't keep them remain unskilled. So a special training is going on to get them fitted into the industries. And the central government, as far as the state governments who are dynamic enough, are trying to bring in investment into this country from the outside, so that there is a greater rapid industrialization.
These elections are being called about. The 2019 polls will have an effect of these elections. How do you think the results of these 5 states may go and affect the general elections of next year?
I doubt the impact of loss or win of this assembly election will have any impact on 2019. BJP may lose or Congress may win here and there, because the people of this country are very mature enough, if one goes by the objective assessment. Modi in particular has still a Teflon-coated Prime Minister. Nothing is sticking despite so many numerous attempts by the different opposition parties of corruption and all kinds of inefficiency. The people of this country knows that he is not a dynast. He has no sons or the mothers or the fathers to promote, or the brothers to be promoted. A man who is so honest and so transparent, everyone knows that he is doing maximum to his credit. And the people are aware in this age of social media, of course, but in this age of communication. So they understand, and I expect that Modi will win 2019 election thumbs down.
We hope that the last 2 states in Rajasthan and Telangana vote as greatly and as thunderously that the other states have done so. Thank you so much, Mr. Roy.
You were listening to a discussion on political fervour and assembly elections. The participants were Professor Himanshu Roy, political thinker, and Neelab Srivastav. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. This program is also available on the website news.air.nic.in. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks at gmail.com.